Welcome back to another episode of Cinema Smoketography, everyone. I'm your friendly neighborhood hookah, Tommy Atomic Rodriguez. Joining me today, once again, is Producer Man Isaac.
Hello.
And Ray 420.
What
And if you guys couldn't understand what was playing right now, we're going to be talking about the new animated movie that's caught the world by storm in this pandemic, Justice League Dark Apokolips War. And dear God, this is the saddest animated movie that I have ever seen in my entire life. And I watched a Watership Down about the bunnies. I'm telling you, that's a dark ass movie. Oh, dude, okay, what could we say about this movie?
Wow. What the fuck did I just watch?
It's great. It's intense.
Yeah.
This is the Infinity War and Endgame of the DC animated universe for the past 7 years. Mm-hmm. Although it didn't take as long as the MCU, but Jesus, it was a long. People grew up on these movies. Just how we are all fairly young, and we grew up in the Batman the Animated Series timeline, so that's how we saw everything, and we grew up with it. Right now, kids that were back then, like 11, 10, are now starting to become their late teens and into their 20s, have grown up on this and how they love it. So you have to really pay attention. There was 14 movies, I think. After roughly 14 movies, a lot of them were Batman-related movies, but still there was a handful of Justice League movies. But I think the majority of them range from Batman and Superman, and I think one Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
For the most part.
And then 2 Suicide Squad films.
In between everything,
yeah.
So... Well, how do we say this whole thing started? Do we say it started from the Flashpoint Paradox, or do we say it started from Justice League War when the new Justice League kind of formed together?
I would say probably Flashpoint Paradox, because it pretty much reset everything for this stuff to start all over again, and then Justice League War happened.
And if you also look at the way the characters were drawn up for all these animated movies, mm-hmm. They look, well, I guess you would say Batman and Flash, they based it off of those characters, mm-hmm. The way they looked in that movie, and then kind of grew from there.
Exactly. But you know what? Here's the thing I think Justice League War is the first movie in this, because there's a line in Justice League War where Green Lantern and Flash are talking to Batman. He's like, Flash, I appreciate your work, as if they don't know each other, and Flash is super happy about it.
Yeah.
So I think...
It's basically, they reset everything. They don't know each other anymore. Basically, everybody's meeting for the first time all over again.
But that doesn't change the fact at the end of Flashpoint Paradox, Batman and Bruce and Barry are having that moment where he's handing him the letter. Mm-hmm. So
I don't think I agree with you, Tommy. I don't think it really reset. But
it reset, but I think the new Justice League War was the first continuity point.
Yeah, from Flashpoint. That, or we got a whole new different timeline that we're watching now.
Or it could be right after Justice League War. He handed it to him. Because we don't know the exact time Barry came back into...
That's also true. We really don't know.
So, I mean, it's
but he really didn't know Barry like that, though.
That's fair.
So I guess, yeah, there's a little bit of plot holes there, in a sense. It makes sense that you put it that way.
Right.
But, yeah, you really don't really know what happened in that time frame.
Exactly. We don't know that exact moment of how we really know each other. It could be right in between, right at the end of, Justice League War, or it could be... Or it could be right after.
Because they say Batman's a myth.
Yeah, no one believed in Batman in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they was like, wait, you're just dressed up like a bat?
You have no powers whatsoever.
Wait, that wasn't Justice League War?
Yeah.
I would say that's probably where it starts then.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what, everyone's saying... I've been hearing a lot of different things, it's the stuff... They're saying 50 are saying it's Justice League War, the other 50% are saying Flashpoint. So it really kind of...
Yeah, I guess it's
a toss-up. Where you kind of...
Or we could just say Flashpoint and just reset everything, but didn't, just basically ended a timeline of what we got for Flashpoint Paradox, and then now it's a different timeline with everybody not knowing each other at all. So basically just like a fresh start from all the movies. Basically it's just a restart to the designs of the freaking characters.
Right. Because we did get a few redesigns from... Because right in the beginning of the early 2000s, we had just... Batman the Animated Series ended in the 90s, and then we have, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, mm-hmm. And then there was only a handful of movies, and they weren't really in continuity with each other anyways, because we had Crisis on Two Worlds, we had, what else was out there during around in the early 2000s?
Going back, Crisis on Infinite Earths, you mean?
No, they had the Crisis on Two Earths movie.
Oh yeah.
And then they had Justice League Frontier, and there was a whole bunch of different like.
Just basically, they didn't really start an actual franchise yet until they started War.
Well, yeah. Then again, they.
Well, I mean, like continuously, because everyone else was just like little bits and pieces of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think like especially for comic book movies, it was very different.
Yeah.
Pre MCU. Because in the early 2000s, we had a lot of different animated movies that weren't in continuity with each other. But when the MCU started doing it, everyone started getting on it.
Yeah, the DC animated universe is its own thing compared to like the actual like MCU universe.
Well, no, but my point being, like, there's two ways to look at it,
Yeah.
right? Because no one really wanted to put anything together until everyone started seeing connected universe, and everyone tried it and failed.
Yeah.
Mostly failed within their own continuity. The Dark Universe is one.
Yeah.
That it started out with the Mummy, and that one was terrible. And then we had, I think the Monster Universe is still going on with Godzilla,
Yeah.
and now we have the DC Extended Universe.
Yeah.
Live action movies. There's
Yeah, and I feel like with the DC Extended Universe, they're picking up the mistakes that they had for the Extended Universe and doing it with the animated films because everybody loves the animated films. You can't go wrong with that.
Right. No, and you know what? Like, this is where I differ because I love live action Marvel movies, but I hate animated Marvel movies.
Yeah, same
They're
thing.
terrible.
You gotta have them, like basically.
And then
50-50.
it's so crazy that the DC live action movies are generally not that great.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say all of them are terrible. Some of them are pretty good. But then you have the DC animated movies, and DC animation has always been number one.
Yeah.
There's no comparing them.
Not at all.
Even like I said, like because there's always the two biggest contrasts, Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
When you look at their animated features, which were more popular? Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, and then Justice League. Then you have Spider-Man, you have X-Men, you have the old school Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they never stacked up to what DC was able to do because they didn't just make comic book cartoons.
Yeah,
they
also
made
didn't last very long.
Exactly. They didn't just make cartoons. They made things that they innovated the entire way things were done for comic book stuff. So that's the real big difference between both of them.
They also made going dark better in animated films compared to doing it live action.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
DC has a couple freaking rated R animated.
Yeah,
movies.
like for instance, this thing could have been
Batman
rated
the
R.
Kill. Yo,
Yeah.
this is rated R.
Is it?
This
I
is
didn't
rated
know.
R,
I
oh,
didn't
yeah.
think it was rated R. Because there was a couple cussing words, but you can get away with that in PG-13 movies though.
Now you can, yeah, but it's a straight R-rated movie because it's not just
Honestly,
cussing,
like,
it's blood, guts, and
Yeah, it's
everything.
like brutal. This one's brutal.
Yeah, no, and there's
I knew
only like a handful of DC R-rated movies. There is Batman: The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
There is Gotham by Gaslight
Yes.
rated R. Okay, there's that one. This and Justice League, the first Justice League Dark.
Yes.
So those are the four that are R-rated.
And they're only rated R-rated because of Constantine's like.
Constantine is a badass. Fun fact. Constantine, the actor who plays Constantine in every live action iteration, is the same Constantine that plays
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah, Matt Ryan is Constantine 100%. DC has hired him for multiple contracts. He's on Legends of Tomorrow. He's on Arrow. Has he even been on the Flash? No, right? No, but he's on the cross. I mean, technically he's on the crossover.
He's got cameos, yeah.
Exactly. So I mean.
Yeah.
So there is no other iteration of Constantine. I'm sure if they
Even
do a
has
live action movie, they're putting
Yeah,
him
most
there.
likely. Yeah, even Constantine has his own CW Seed show.
Yeah, and it's all the
Right.
same animation style.
Yeah, same animation style.
So I just like John Ryan's like the best Constantine, and his character is always just so fun to watch because he's fucking hilarious. And any continuity he puts him in, he's that lovable asshole that we all just kind of get along with.
Yeah.
And then everyone has their problems with him because Constantine is a sorcerer. I guess they call him he's a sorcerer, I guess, right? Or a wizard. I don't know what they call him. I don't know what they call him in DC. They call him magicians.
He's not a magician. No, Satana's a magician.
I don't know. Either which way, like it's this movie is let's talk about how it was dark. This movie wasn't just dark. It was sad it started out in just a very dark tone. And they're all getting ready because Darkseid's starting to look into conquering the Earth again. Because obviously in Justice League War he tried and it failed because of the Justice League. Now we're seeing Darkseid start to prepare again. They start to come again, and now we're seeing that Superman hates Darkseid. Like, he really does hate Darkseid, and you see him how angry he is. And Lex is trying to figure out a way. Like, no, there's always another way to bargain. We got to be able to come to a
Man,
compromise.
Superman really pissed me off in this movie, and especially in the first 10-15 minutes.
Oh, dude, he was a punk.
Like,
Superman was a straight punk in this movie.
Well, you gotta understand. Remember the movies that he was in, and like the storyline that he played. Like, this guy died and fucking was resurrected.
Yeah, and
Because of Darkseid.
I can see
You know,
Superman's
so
point.
he
Like,
wants to
hated
get-
that.
I
He
get
wants
what
to
he's
get
doing, yes, but still at the same time, it's like he should have listened to what everyone was trying to tell him, though, because it ended up biting him in the ass, and he's responsible for half of them dying.
Yeah, and being, if they're not dead, being controlled for Darkseid
Yeah,
for 2
exactly.
years.
And he knows he messed up after what happened to him. Like,
True. I don't disagree, but I think no matter what would have happened, in the end, Darkseid would have won in that universe.
In that little scenario, yeah, because
well, not just that, but in any scenario.
Plus, he was one step
hijacked. He had hijacked Cyborg.
Yeah, he was one step ahead of everybody.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, but I wonder, does Cyborg even know he can be linked to Apokolips still because he's fused to the mother box?
No, I don't think he realized it.
I don't know, like
Or else he would have sensed it because he does have the mother box in him. And that's how he was able to look through Cyborg anyway.
yeah. So I don't know, like I just think like it was a little, it seemed way too one-sided for Darkseid, and once they go in there, we don't see what happens on Apokolips until, we go into the next scene.
Yeah.
Where Constantine is getting drunk in a pub with Etrigan of all people.
Yeah.
Etrigan's character, he finally just got freed in the first Justice League Dark movie because I forgot who was the human host for Etrigan.
Fuck, I forgot his name.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think it was Blake or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Who his host in general just died.
Yeah.
So he really has no tie to the human world whatsoever. He's just kind of there now.
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually dies. Because then he's pretty much eternal until someone, kills him off anyways.
Right.
And then that's where we see Constantine just like, oh, now you want to, oh, Superman, you're here with Raven.
Yeah, like, why did they all look like that? And
Yeah.
obviously they lost in some way, shape, or form, but, why did Constantine, the only one there,
Yeah.
it leaves you with, a bunch of different questions, and then Raven and Superman show up, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
What, in 2 years, in 2 years you finally decide to show up. And Superman finally has a plan to beat Darkseid. And this is where we see so much, coming together in this whole movie, because like I said in the beginning, it's basically the end game of this universe. And then you can see it, a lot of different similarities. They all got to come together at the end, and everyone's together at the very end.
Heroes, villains, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mothers.
But in the end, they still lost because they had to go back
They won.
it was the Flashpoint.
They won, but they didn't win.
They won with a cost.
They won with the ultimate cost. Because at this point, they're starting to see the world's starting to be drained of its magma to be fed to Apokolips. Because Darkseid is now trying to conquer the entire universe. Basically, Earth is the only real world that can actually stop Darkseid because of how many superpowered people are on there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not just the Justice League. You look at everyone. We have Swamp Thing. We have the entire Bat family. We have Superboy Prime. Well, I don't know if he's Superboy Prime, but Superboy. We have everybody there. Right? And then how is it that this is the only place that people can't really stop? 3 or 4 Green Lanterns are on Earth.
Yeah.
And we see only 2 of them because and in other movies we see more. Martian Manhunter is another one. We have so many high profile people strong enough to really stop Darkseid and put him in his place. And none of them, in the beginning at least, none of them can really stop Darkseid because they release Paradooms, which is Doomsday mixed with Parademons, and they are the most ferocious and scary looking motherfuckers.
They're OP as hell.
Oh, dude, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary. How they're able to do all of this.
Yeah.
All right, so once they fight the Parademons in the bar, they go to
Paradooms.
no, they
Oh,
don't
no,
fight
the in the bar,
in the bar they're
Parademons.
fighting Parademons. So they fight the Parademons, and they go back to Big Ben, where Constantine's been hiding out, and they're now trying to figure out how they're gonna stop Darkseid. How are they gonna do that? They gotta enlist everybody, whoever's still alive, and of course the only other person that's still alive in this post-apocalyptic world are pretty much the worst kind of people.
The Suicide Squad.
Well, survivors.
No,
Warriors.
yeah, exactly. But you look at them, they're just some of the worst people. Lady Shiva's a part of them. She's the most deadly, one of the top 10 deadliest fighters in the DC universe.
Yo, like,
leaned up.
She fucking died so fucking fast.
That's not
Yeah.
even fair. I wanted her to die on
She
Apokolips
didn't
at
even
least.
speak.
Yeah.
I think she said 1 or 2 words.
And that's it.
Yeah, but then they have to find Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
So they go to, I forget which part of the world they go to. It's some remote part of the world where Damian now restarted the League of Assassins.
Amanda Parbat.
Pretty much. And then this is where a lot of the comedy comes in, because we start to see Etrigan start to be, he doesn't even rhyme anymore, and he said there's no point. And Etrigan is one of those OP characters who's just OP for no reason.
Right.
Right? I mean, when they go fight the assassins, Etrigan's just throwing them left and right, like,
Yeah,
you're
it's not
done,
even doing
I'm
anything.
bored. And I think he fights Lady Shiva, and that's when he has like an actual,
Yeah.
like, kind of a challenge at that point.
No, there was no challenge. He like just grabbed her.
Yeah, but still, like, that's the
He
only
just
one-
held her up while getting like kicked in the face.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, that was pretty funny. And then
That's not a challenge.
Damien stems out and stops everyone. And I love Etrigan's like for Damien. He's like, I like this kid. I like this kid. He's like,
really like this kid.
you steal anything, I'll kill you. I really like this kid. And that's when Raven and him have a little bit of a heart-to-heart, and why Raven didn't come with him to start the League of Assassins, because she's fighting Trigon. She's getting sick. She's like
Pretty much dying.
She's looked like she's going through cancer, pretty much. That's what it is. And it's so crazy to see, like,
Yeah,
how...
because she's using pretty much all of her life force to keep him in.
Exactly. And Trigon's threatened to kill Damien if he doesn't let out. Or if he gets out, he's killing Damien. So that's her motivation to kind of keep him there. And we saw what happened to the Teen Titans. And that was brutal as shit, too. And every scene, like, you just see everyone fighting. It's just... Who had the most brutal death? Out of everyone we've seen die on screen, who had the most brutal death?
Out of everybody?
Out of everybody. Because we see Aquaman get ripped
Aquaman
in half.
got fucking mauled.
He was being ripped apart as...
I would say
the dark-
anybody that was human, like, gets it pretty bad, dude. Like, everyone else has some kind of power or protection, you know?
Oh, man.
Guts all over the place. Freaking.
There were so many people being ripped in half.
Or,
It was
was
brutal.
gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. And then...
that movie was rated R for that reason. Like, oh.
Nightwing had the most anticlimactic death though. He just got stabbed in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what I'm saying.
With him getting always the most anticlimactic deaths,
Oh, Nightwing just can't catch a break.
right?
Poor Nightwing. But Nightwing came back to life, but he just happened to be driven insane because the Lazarus
pit.
Yeah, it didn't work right for him. But then again, I don't think Damien knew how to properly rehabilitate someone who came out of the Lazarus pit. Because the only one who really has gone in and out of that thing repeatedly was Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul was already mentally far gone. That's why it worked.
That's
for
why
him.
it worked for him every time. But Damien didn't know how to rehabilitate his own brother.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why, like you said, Raven tells him you said you would never use it. He lost his brother. I mean, anyone else in his situation would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we see it in every kind of continuity. Look at the Arrowverse, for example. When Thea died, they put her in the pit. When
Sarah died.
they put her in the pit, and they tried to figure out how to cure their bloodlust. When Roy went into there, he took him like 5 seasons to figure out how to deal with it, but still. Like the Lazarus Pit's like the most brutal way to come back to life. Look what happened to Jason Todd when he came through there. Right, and then
Oh, yeah.
and then
Well, I mean, he never really recovered off of it, so.
I mean, yeah, but he came back better than most people that normally come into that pit. But then again, he had Talia to kind of help him out too. So there was so many different characters that were introduced in these past 7 years, and we all get to see them at some point or another. Right, throughout the entire series, because as we know, we're
You know who I felt bad for? Was Batgirl, because you saw her come out of Bad
poor
Blood.
Batgirl.
Bad Blood, never got to see her interact with any of the Bat family, and all of a sudden she fucking just died.
She's there and she's gone.
Like you never got into like after Hush, because she showed up in Hush, right? Or Bad Blood, and then after that you.
I think she did like a small cameo in Hush. She didn't do too much.
And then that's it. Like.
Oh yeah, and then she's dead. And then we have a lot of stuff in this whole continuity, because once Damien decides to join, they go to the next spot to save the world, which is right out Stryker's Island, where they're recruiting Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad. And the Suicide Squad is fucking huge at this point. We have Cheetah, we have Black Manta, King Shark, John Constantine's ex.
Basically the
Bane.
That shit was funny.
That shit was hilarious.
Once
It's like,
I
oh god, my ex here with Harley Quinn? Oh no, Don't feel that he's
Shark.
like King Shark is a shark.
King Shark was the most OP character in this film.
Oh yeah, and no, I love the banter between Captain Boomerang and Constantine.
Yeah, you didn't call damn Ozzy.
Is it Ozzy, Brit, and at the end of it, Wanker. At the same time too, it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Amanda Waller had a sad death too, but we sure it was off camera. She died of cancer. Cancer is not a joke.
So did
everyone. We're not
Joker
making
got
fun
his
of
ass
that.
kicked by Batman and pretty much got his...
Oh yeah, because Batman is now in the Mobius chair.
Yeah.
So Lex Luthor's figured out he teamed up with the Darkseid, and that's where the next place they're going is to take over LexCorp Tower because Lois has an inside man.
We talk about how Lois was like fucking badass in this film, and like she fucking beat the shit out of Harley just to get.
Dude, that fight scene was fucking great.
Like, I know she's a military brat, but still, like I didn't think she could kick that much ass like that.
That was a Mortal Kombat style like
That's like-
fighting. That's
yeah.
what that was. Like it
That
was
was like some
intense.
Sonya Blade shit. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like she will pull out all the stops, and then Superman. You know what? We have to address the fact because we haven't yet. Superman is now incapacitated because Darkseid had plans for everybody. Obviously, some of the Justice League members ended up becoming his Valkyries. Superman was permanently enabled to stop fighting from liquid kryptonite inside him. I'm surprised he's not even dead. That's what surprised me throughout this whole movie.
yeah, that was something a little bit weird, like because it was like in his eyes, all
Exactly.
right here, like it's supposed to kill him, so I don't understand how it's keeping him. Like
I think
Darkseid's so,
it should've been-
Darkseid's so sophisticated that he made it.
it
so
would have
he
made more
suffered that
sense
way.
for it to be blue kryptonite because blue kryptonite gets rid of his powers.
Yeah, that one makes more sense to exactly. So I think it's just
But it was never introduced. You
That's
know?
true.
Like, at least not in this.
in this continuity,
universe,
yeah, it's not.
So I guess doing it with green kryptonite, maybe because it was liquid, it stays in your veins. Like
Oh
that.
yeah, and he can adapt to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much part of his bloodstream now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a little like nitpick shit. So
I mean, but the point being, like, he's immobilized and he can't do anything.
yeah,
That's the craziest thing about it. Like, he's just stuck being there, which is all right. I mean, to me, it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It's just kind of it's plot armor for Superman. He has to be part of. He has to have the plan and stop Darkseid.
yeah.
All right, so there's that. Like, to be quite honest, it's one of those things where yes, it doesn't make any sense, and comic book fans are gonna fight it to the bitter end. But at the end of the day,
I mean, you
like,
can't kill Superman after you just killed him like the last 2 films ago. So like,
yeah, like 2-3 films ago, he was dead.
yeah,
Right, and let's face it, like, and Darkseid not only, attacked Earth in Justice League War, he also, in the reign of Superman, he brought Cyborg Superman to the world. So there's a real strong hatred between Superman and Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because in comic book continuity, in any kind of continuity with those two together, the only person who can really stop Superman is Darkseid. He's the only one strong enough. He's the only one,
or Doomsday.
Or Doomsday, yeah, but still, same thing.
Yeah.
Those are the only two characters that can actually bring Superman to his knees.
Well, actually, no, Batman can.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We haven't even talked about Batman yet.
Oh,
I am so upset
Oh my
the
god.
way his character was played in this movie.
Well, I mean, he was brainwashed in the Mobius chair, which was animated.
And I like how they
beautifully,
addressed the fact that even Damian was like, if there's anybody that could break his mind control, it's Batman. Because he broke the control from Talia in the last film.
Yeah, in
previous
Bad
one,
Blood.
Yeah.
Bad Blood. So, like, it makes sense, and I like how they brought that back
Mhm.
and they made point about that, because, like,
Mhm.
I'm glad that they actually did that, because it makes a lot of sense. Cause
They addressed a lot of different things throughout this entire movie.
So that makes sense, like, at least it isn't in continuity
Mm-hmm.
with everybody.
Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of different things you can like pick out of this film because they bring out a lot of different stuff. Like we see the Teen Titans right now. The last time we seen the Teen Titans was in the Judas Contract.
Yeah.
And we can now see their members have grown besides Beast Boy, Raven, and Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
We now have Cyborg. We have Wonder Girl, and I think it was just Wonder Girl. Supergirl was never introduced, and Superboy was there.
Yeah.
So they have like a full roster.
Yeah, basically.
Right, and most of them survived. We don't see them until later on in the movie when they're simultaneously attacking these several. I forget what they're called, but the machines that are draining the magma, feeding into
the core of the Earth, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So there are some basing simultaneously attacks while the Suicide Squad, Lois, and Superman all go towards and take care of Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Which Lex Luthor ended up like I thought he was be a little bit more of a threat when he came to fighting all of them, but his suit was demolished within seconds.
Yeah.
Which was sad. I wanted to see the Lex
I do
suit, like-
appreciate that they used the Legion of Doom suit for Lex. How he had his purple attire.
Yeah.
Thing. That shit was cool.
Yeah, that's another comic book callback to how he is in the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy, like how everything was kind of put into that point.
Yeah, and then my favorite character ever, Swamp Thing. Just like
Dude, Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Swamp Thing was hella badass.
He's like, yeah, the plants are gonna die. The plants?
That
Oh
was
yeah,
so
yeah. It's just like, what? What'd you say?
Not the plants. And he just straight fucking starts killing everybody.
I love how John like just gets him to do it too. He's like, "You're just gonna let this happen? Like how like you do it? Like it's gonna affect the green. It's going to affect the green." And then he just goes ape shit. Yeah.
Fucking girl's wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
He grew wings. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like that's one of his things that he could do. I love Swamp Thing. He's fucking awesome. He's like,
Swamp Thing is like is
Yeah, he will live forever.
Oh, well, at least until the Earth dies.
Yeah, but
Until the Earth dies.
but
Yeah.
Swamp Thing is just fucking awesome. He's all over the place, fucking killing all the Paradooms and like just like holding
Yeah,
them down.
because once everything was attacked by all these different teams, and that's when you see all the survivors who made it through. Because we see the Bat family. The only person we didn't see was Jason Todd.
Because he was never.
He was never introduced, but
Yeah.
still, like
He's
that's
not
the only member of the
introduced,
Bat family. That's we have Batgirl, we have Batwoman, we have I forgot what the Batman with the mech suit. Right, we have all of them, and then we see the rest of the Teen Titans attack another one. We see Superboy, Shazam. Shazam got a pretty easy out of everyone who went to Apokolips. All he did was lose a leg.
His character design of how they had him look exactly like the one from Flashpoint.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, with the Captain Thunder look.
Yeah, and the scar and all that stuff. So like that was a cool callback. And then him basically self-suiciding.
To take out like hella Paradooms, like
Yeah.
maybe not hella Paradooms, but he took out a
He
few.
took quite amount, yeah.
And then
Oh,
they
he was
all
going down.
Yeah, he was going down no matter what. So like
exactly. And then when all that is happening, Lex finally tells him like I was the spy feeding you all the information. He's like you're a traitor. You're this.
I was hoping it was Batman.
I was so hoping it was Batman.
Yeah,
I thought
right.
it
That was like it. Yeah.
That would have been cool. Like I was like, oh, I hope it's Batman as a spy, and he's just fucking pretending the
Yeah.
entire time. But no, it was fucking Lex. I knew they were gonna go with Lex, but
Yeah.
still,
Yeah,
I
still,
hope it
like-
was Batman.
It would have been badass if it was Batman.
Right?
And then
But
at
of
the
course,
same
it's
time,
because of Batman.
it's
Oh,
because well, Batman's a dick.
In this
Batman is a total fucking asshole in this movie.
He's always been a fucking asshole.
He's a bigger asshole.
Yeah.
He's twice the biggest asshole because of that fucking chair in Darkseid, the brainwashing. But Darkseid's Darkseid wasn't in the attacks. Like he went to go to Oa to take out the rest of the Green Lantern Corps.
which
And
was crazy.
that was a fucking massacre.
Oh, yeah.
That was a massacre on Oa, and then this is where
Is that the only time he got his hands dirty?
yeah, right before everything else. That's the only time he's got his hands dirty that we've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Not even then. He's fucking rolling around, floating in the air with his hands behind his back.
Oh, he's
The
dark.
whole
That's
time.
what he does.
Yeah.
It's Darkseid.
Yeah, because
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
else, like the Paradooms, take out Earth, everybody else. He only participated when they were in Apokolips, when he started like ripping up fucking everybody else,
Yeah.
like Cyborg and all that stuff. So he only took out the ones he wanted to take out.
He had plans for everybody.
Yeah.
So the plan to stop Darkseid is they're gonna go to Apokolips. They're going to take out the power generator. That way they can bring everyone back and just pretty much leave Darkseid wherever he's at. In this case,
Right.
Oa. So Oa has to be a casualty in this kind of sense.
Yeah.
But once everyone gets to Apokolips, Darkseid, the Boom 2 was activated by Lex at that point, and Batman kind of figured it out. Like, who released a Boom 2 over there? It was just a malfunction, Batman. It's going to be fine. And then Batman knows, like, oh, so now you want to bring out your traitorous nature. Darkseid's gonna, torch you for a long time.
Like I say, Darkseid will kill you slowly.
Yes, Darkseid will kill you slowly. He's like, well, looks like I'm part of you guys now. And that was his... I mean, Lex is just such a condescending character.
Yeah.
He's a fucking worm.
He really is. And you were saying that you don't like his voice.
I do, like he's such a little bitch. Like it fits him, but like he's such a little bitch.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Then they're like you said,
He
but
sounds like a
they're going
twat.
for the Jesse Eisenberg type of voice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if that's the case, you just made him look like Jesse Eisenberg.
You should have just let Jesse Eisenberg do it.
Yeah, but
I don't think he ever wants to return to that role. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
So I mean, now we're getting towards like the very end where they're going to Apokolips.
yeah,
And this is where the Green Lantern Oath was. I wish it was shorter.
right.
Because Jon Stewart got fucked over, hella hard.
I mean, what would have happened even if he had did it? Would you try and detonate it?
I don't know. Maybe. I wonder what would have happened if
Yeah.
the lava didn't happen
I
there.
don't know.
Because right when he finishes the oath, the lava just comes down. And he's having a conversation with Batman as he's crawling to do this.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm coming home. Send out the Valkyries to take out the intruders. And, oh, by the way, just drop some lava over here.
I want to make a point.
Exactly.
That was Savage level 10.
Yeah.
Dude, that was...
Dark Side.
And then we just see Jon Stewart's ashes just fade away with the ring. I'm like, aw.
Everybody just got completely ashed.
There's... They weren't even snapped out of existence either. Like, they were just gone. That's not even fair. That wasn't fair. If there was an unfair moment in this entire movie, that was it.
That was it.
That was the unfair moment, and then I just felt so bad for Jon. And then because the Valkyries are considered of Wonder Woman as their leader, Mira, Hawkman, and Martian Manhunter. They're the only 4 Valkyries. And then they're being stopped. Then that's where their first obstacle comes before Darkseid has to happen. Right? And then this is where Etrigan kind of goes into pretty much beast mode and just takes forever to get started too, because he's fighting Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the only real challenge he's ever had throughout this entire run of the movie.
Etrigan couldn't stop talking shit, and he got his ass kicked and he died.
Oh my god, Etrigan had such an anticlimactic death too.
What's funny is that he died in fire.
Right, you breathe fire and you're gonna die by fire.
Pretty ironic.
Yeah, snap your neck, do something, cut her head off. But really, fire?
And she stabbed him with a sword, and they just disappeared.
His own sword, of all things, and that.
I know. I didn't get that part.
No,
There's got to be somewhere, backstory tied to it.
Yeah, but still, the best part was when John. This is where I don't understand. John Constantine ran, for the most part, in the first attack on Apokolips, right? Yeah. Because of the charm that the spell Zatanna put on him.
Yeah, a compulsion spell.
A compulsion spell, right. So now we see how well that could have gone the other way if John was on Apokolips. Because look at what he did to Wonder Woman. He took the lasso and really compelled her to be...
I didn't even notice she had the lasso on her.
Well,
yeah.
Dude, who knows? Now he has access to someone who has access to multiple dimensions and fucking...
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He would John is just he's the Sorcerer Supreme basically.
Yeah, he's like what we want Dr. Fate to be.
Oh yeah, dude, for real.
I didn't even I forgot.
Dr. Fate was not introduced yet.
Yeah, he was in Justice League Dark.
Was he? It was for a brief moment.
Yeah, because that's Zatanna's dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He has the Nobu hat helmet now.
Yeah, because they blew up the house.
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
That house was awesome.
The house of M, yeah, exactly. The house of mystery. Right, and then it's super crazy, how that, like I said, how strong he actually is. He compelled Wonder Woman to come back from being brainwashed. He used techno magic, techno wizardry, to free Cyborg of being, a mother box for the most part.
And that was the whole point of what Batman wanted in the first place, as a precaution in case this didn't go well.
And obviously that's why it didn't, but we can see how that would have been different if they had a better plan, and if Darkseid didn't know about the plan beforehand.
Yeah,
so that would have been the most OP thing kind of possible, right? Because he was the key to the entire movie, and it's a focal point because it's not only called Justice League Dark because he's the leader of the Justice League Dark team, but he was the key the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. He's always been the key of the Justice League Dark in general.
Yeah,
for how that worked, especially for the first film too.
Yeah, he was the main focal point of the whole thing.
And it's always up to Batman to be the ultimate savior.
Oh yeah, Batman was the smart guy.
If it's not Superman, it's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the two. It's never either or. It's never together. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about it, when they now save Victor, Batman and Darkseid show up, right? And that's where you know shit's about to go down. And Damien's like, "Well, Father, it's about
What do you say?
I'm about to tell you." He's talking shit to him. He's like, "You're not my son. Your mother raped me, goaded me into raising you, and you've been a burden ever since." And then that just
You have some nerve calling me that.
Yeah. And that struck a nerve with Damien's like, well, pulls out the kryptonite
Anybody
sword.
with daddy issues, dude, that shit must have hurt.
That hurt a lot. Yeah, that one would have hurt. He's like, come take care of your burden, and he gets fucking smacked around.
He fucking kicked the shit out of him. I'm like, I'm no longer holding back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck.
Dude, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah. No,
Like,
yeah.
Damian
Anyone
was-
against Batman gets fucked up.
Yeah, and this is where Batman. This is where it broke. The only person who can actually break Bruce from his trauma would be his son, one of his sons.
Better himself. Because he started realizing what he was doing to him.
Exactly, but that's like if Damian wasn't there, it wouldn't have gone that way.
Exactly.
So Damian
Correct.
he saw that like gun in his
presence,
hand.
yeah.
Exactly. So that's what snapped him out of it, and then he throws a batarang into Darkseid's
Well,
eye.
no, it's just he fucking got blasted by Darkseid.
Yeah.
That's what
He
it was.
tried saving him, even though, like, he basically sacrificed himself for him.
Yeah.
And that
He
was
went out the Ra's al Ghul way.
Yeah. Yeah.
burned to a crisp.
It was kind of ironic.
Yeah, for real, they both died the same
Yeah.
tragic death. But no, like so once all that's said and done, the only thing that can really stop Darkseid at this point is Trigon. Trigon's the only person that can come, and this is where like Raven and Constantine had a little bit of a sidebar and tried to figure out how to do it. So they summon this dagger pretty much and knocks the gem out of Raven's head.
Yeah.
He's like Constantine's like, well, I'm your magical host. Let's do this. We can stop him. I'm giving you a willing host. No, I think I'm gonna possess the strongest person in the room.
Yep.
And then that's when Superman Trigon was born.
Super Trigon, yeah.
Super Trigon, exactly.
Fucking unhuman.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to do the fusion dance. That would have been
They
hilarious.
straight Patara.
Straight up Patara earrings. Like, whoop. Man, that was intense too.
Yeah.
Like that fight was super
Honestly, them
intense.
doing that was the only way they could think of getting rid of that fucking kryptonite thing on him.
Oh yeah, that's the
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
There's no other way, like at all.
Oh my god, and that was a super strong fight. And the only reason Superman was able to break free because we all know Lex portrayed it, so they set the rest of the Paradunes to Lex Tower. And that's when the Suicide Squad really earned their name. And they started going ham. They all have kryptonite weapons,
Yep.
everything else like
Kryptonite
that.
teeth.
Kryptonite teeth.
Kryptonite teeth, kryptonite boomerangs.
Kryptonite fucking...
How the
This
fuck
console-
did Lex come up with any of that shit to have on like hand?
You have to understand, Lex is he hates Superman so much. So
Or
he would have...
hated.
He hated Superman
yeah.
so much, he would have recruited any supervillain to his team. I'm pretty sure he had that all in stash.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like Lex Luthor is he's one of the smartest men, if not the smartest man in the DC universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at that point too, he
He had enough time to
exactly.
like,
For
put
2
all that
years?
stuff.
He
Exactly.
had a fucking armory
Oh yeah.
for everybody.
He had a kryptonite fucking shell.
Exactly.
No one could freaking. Well, they ended up going through, but
They broke free, but that's
He
and
was
then
well
he set the tower to self destruct, and that's what kind of set Clark to become Superman once again. An extra Trigon.
And it leaves me with that really nitpick thing of how the fuck did his suit come back?
Plot armor.
Magic just basically get rid of your beard and
but
your
you know
fucking...
what? I think we're forgetting something. We keep just. I don't think we've credited John Constantine enough. He made a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
He really did.
You know?
He brought them to Damian.
He was the one who was also able to do his tech, like you said, his techno fucking shit, and get Cyborg back up and
Free Wonder Woman.
freed.
And that's what I'm saying. I love this scene where he's like, oh, the old magic. Like, that's the stuff. Like, he's addicted to it for some reason. He's like, ooh, I got the best fix in the world.
Oh my god.
Right? Like, that's what he looked like. Like, that's how he sounds. Like, an addict finally getting the best stuff he's ever had in his entire life.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He's
Like,
an addict.
he's a dead-ass addict. But you were bringing up a point, too. Like, John Constantine is constantly smoking. Now, the reason I think they took out the smoking and replaced it for drinking is because these are targeted towards kids. And let's face it, everything right now when it comes to smoking has the worst kind of notion to it.
Yeah.
Right? Look at what we're doing right now. Right? We're smoking while we're talking about this. But my point being, like, we're not aimed to children.
Yeah.
Right? We just talk about things that we're doing. We're doing some... Well, we pretty much would have been doing this before anyways. Right? We're just now doing it.
Photography dark.
Yeah, cinema, Smoketography, dark. That's all. That's what we do anyways. We
Yeah.
sit around, we talk about this as we're watching a movie.
Right.
Right now, we're just doing it in front of a camera.
Right.
So, but that's what I'm saying. The DC movies are aimed towards children for the most part, especially because they're cartoons and parents know
Well,
they can sell.
I think this was more towards adults.
Well, it definitely was rated R.
Well,
Yeah,
the dark versions, yes.
the dark versions, yes, but in general, like when Constantine's even in the CW series,
Yeah.
when do you see him smoke a cigarette? You don't.
Yeah.
And you were saying it too.
Yeah,
like,
they
he's a constant smoker.
They swap it out for
They
like
swap it
other
out for his
stuff.
alcoholism.
Yeah, that or like anything else. Like
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's the real reason. Although I wish he was just kind of smoking half the time, because some of those scenes would have been so much funnier if he's just ashing a cigarette as he's talking shit.
So.
And at this point, when Superman comes back, we forget to mention that Trigon snapped his neck.
That's what I'm getting.
He's
That's what
dead.
I was gonna say. We keep failing to mention that.
Yeah, he's dead.
The first thing he does is, cut.
You're done.
You're done.
Exactly. And then this is what's kind of cool too. Like,
I was just like, wait, what?
I was like, oh fuck.
they're screwed. But what's crazy about it is we all read some kind of DC Constantine comic, or at least we know enough about it. Constantine is a terrible person, right? He doesn't deserve to go to heaven for any case, and he makes it a very point.
And Zatanna called in a favor.
She called. I don't know what favor she called in, but he goes to heaven, and the first thing he wants to do. We need to go to a pub. Is there a pub here? If not, we gotta make one.
We could make one.
And that's when, he comes back to life. And that's when Zatanna was like, hey, put a compulsion spell on you. He's like, Batsy.
Yep,
Like,
figured it out.
motherfucker.
He was so mad.
He was like, I'm still fucking pissed at you.
I'm still mad. Alright, I'm thinking. I'm still mad at you. But Constantine was like the best, like, he was the genius behind everything.
Yeah, and let's not forget also, Lois and Constantine were the OP characters of this fucking film. Lois fucking go pulling a Sonya Blade and kicking the shit out of Harley. Just to recruit the Suicide Squad.
And yeah, and then Constantine doing everything Constantine is doing is fucking OP as shit.
Yeah.
And then they figure him and Raven. Oh, and we also failed to mention that Raven, before she released before Trigon, was released again from Superman, he was put in this little glass ball, right? And Superman's fighting Darkseid, and now they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Cyborg comes up with the idea of sending all the Paradunes back to Apokolips and sending Apokolips and Darkseid to some random point in time where he can never come back. Right? So now, how are they going to keep him distracted? They got to take Clark with them. Well, they don't have to, but they do anyways. Right? Because if someone's going to keep fighting Darkseid, it might as well just be Superman.
Yeah.
But they failed to mention that Raven brought back Damian, and now she's in the white Raven costume. Right? And the only other person who can fight a new god is an old god. So they're like, wait, that's the best idea ever.
Right, and the entire time I was watching this film and while they're on Apokolips, I'm like, fucking release Trigon. Fucking release Trigon. What are you doing?
Yeah. I was waiting for him to do it too. I'm like, it's super obvious, and you're just yelling at the screen like.
I like you guys. I understand not releasing Trigon when you're on Earth, but you guys are fucking Apokolips now. Fucking release Trigon.
Right. And they finally released Trigon.
Yeah, but I think just like that, I think at that point everybody was thinking that why haven't you done this yet?
Yeah.
Why hasn't this happened?
And you guys still
they set it up so perfectly for you to want that to happen.
Yeah.
Like that.
And the whole time too, throughout the entire movie, he's antagonizing Raven. I'm getting out of here, and I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm going to kill Damian. That's the first thing he wants.
Like Raven was sucking up her life force just to keep Trigon in. But.
Yeah, and then she released Trigon by watching Damian die, and that's how Trigon comes back. And so,
well, technically,
he was not only released, he was he didn't get to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to kill Damian, just to hurt Raven.
Yeah,
he didn't even get to do that. So he's even more pissed at Darkseid.
Yeah,
and then I love the fight where right before he goes in there, because when you see Trigon, this is what kind of pissed me off. Trigon is a ginormous fucking person. Right?
Yeah.
And he's the same size as Darkseid?
And how is he magically the same size as Darkseid?
I think he made himself that way. I don't think he was fully at full strength.
Either which way, that's my nitpick with it.
Yeah.
Because Trigon's so massive.
Justice League,
Justice League versus Teen Titans, he is a fucking Godzilla-sized motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was tall as a fucking building.
Exactly. So, and I love the fight where, Superman is fighting Darkseid, and Darkseid is now talking so much shit to him, and then he just gets knocked to the side by Trigon. He's like, you better go, unless you want to fight me to who gets to kill him. And that was that was fucking hilarious.
That was awesome.
That was some gangsta ass shit right there.
Yeah, for real.
Straight up thug.
He's like, fuck you. The thug life, I didn't pick the thug life. The thug life picked me. That was that moment.
Pretty much.
He needed the glasses and just go in there like that. But no, that was the best part.
Yeah.
Right? And there's this unseen kind of thing throughout that you really have to kind of pay attention. Is Raven is talking about their parents with Damian back on Earth. Mm-hmm. Even the worst parents in the world want the best for their kids. Batman's not the best parent. Let's face it.
But he still loves Damian.
But he loves Damian and he wants the best for him. Trigon is a fucking shitty father. In every way, shape, or form. But at the end, where everybody's leaving to get off of Earth, he looks at Raven and he says, "This is the best gift you ever could have given me. An endless fight."
Now go, daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be well.
Be well, daughter.
Exactly. So he got to pretty much live out his dream, and what Trigon wants to do is just take over everything. So he gets to have a constant world to himself. He gets to beat the living fuck out of Darkseid. And it really kind of comes down to like who's more powerful, and you can really see, we can try to analyze it any way we want, but at the end of the day, it's up to the writer. Whether it's movies, comic books, or even a TV show, it's up to the writer to see who's going to see the outcome. Because it changes all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So this is where I really want to see the end of that fight. Like, who would have actually won. Because they were going at it. Like, lasers, fucking
Were they
pure
gonna pull
strength.
like a Thanos Hulk thing where he has Hulk as a pet?
Oh my god, that would be fucking Darkseid's a pet. Oh my god, that would be hilarious. I mean, pretty sad, but fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And this is the saddest point, too, once they get back onto Earth. Because not only did they win, look at what the cost was.
Yeah.
The cost was massive. We have families broken apart, loved ones gone. Pretty much no one has the hope to live anymore. Most of the Justice League members, if not, are mutilated. They are just freaks of nature, and they can't even function in real life anymore. Look at Starfire. She's torn in, pretty much, she was torn in half on Earth.
Yeah, Mira's a snake.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. So
no.
random.
Yeah.
Right? Why a snake? Maybe a fish. A fish wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And then
Technically,
Hawkman.
she's a mermaid.
Oh, there you go. She's a mermaid. A killer cyborg mermaid.
Well, even like Wonder Woman, poor Wonder Woman, like
I think she was the most human looking out of all of them.
at least, yeah.
Oh yeah. Out of everyone, she was the most normal.
cyborg Wonder
All
Woman.
she lost was an arm.
And
compared
half
to
her
everyone.
face.
Half her face.
Well,
Cyborg Wonder Woman.
yeah, I mean, like out of all of them, she's the most human-like. But then Barry's having a hard time coping with the fact that he knows what he needs to do, and it's create another Flashpoint. And this is where the end of the New 52 era for this animated saga goes, because
It's the same way the Flashpoint
the
ended.
same
But the
point.
thing about doing the Flashpoint is, what point in time is he supposed to stop?
He has to save his mother. He has to save his mother and shift everything and stop himself again. That's basically what he has to do.
So he has to watch his mom die again.
Yeah. Dude, Barry Allen's like, he's so happy, but he has such a tragic like life. And he has to constantly just watch his mother die all the time. You'd think at this point he'd be numb to it, of how many times they actually have to kill his mom. But now that's where, and we don't even know what's gonna happen, right?
Oh yeah, we gotta wait months until
We gotta wait at least a year,
Oh, well, it's a year in the making.
maybe a year and a half,
for another movie, yeah.
and then
Or any kind of movie. We'll
exactly,
see what's
and then
up.
we're gonna see where it takes place, because now we have the New 52.
What do you want to do with this? now?
Exactly. We have the New 52. After the New 52 bombed,
You know,
they
it's-
went to Rebirth. So it's either we're going to get Rebirth or we're just going to get famous tellings of everything that's been going on in comics. For instance, we have the Doomsday Clock, which we know that Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen was behind both Flashpoints. So we don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to incorporate that, or are they going to give us, a whole different kind of continuity, or are we going to go back to the old
Honestly,
days?
I know like the Flashpoint was the right thing to do, but I kind of wanted to see what the hell happened, like with this. Like, what can you do with this? Like,
There's nothing you can do.
The Earth only had like a 4 months to like survive.
The only one that survived was Superman.
they said the Earth was pretty much at a point of already too late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 30%.
30%, no, 40%, 30 to 40% of the
I know you
time
make
was
the whole
gone.
joke of everybody in this movie died. Everybody in this fucking movie died.
Yep. Everybody, yeah, it's the true Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And it's the oldest trick in the book. Like, oh, don't spoil the movie. Well, it doesn't matter, everyone died.
Yeah, like
Right? And this is one of the only few times everyone really did die.
yeah, that and Rogue One.
Raven didn't die.
Everybody died at the Flashpoint. Like their
Oh, at the
existing
end,
lives.
at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their existing lives have ended.
Yeah.
Right, so now we're gonna have to see what this DC animated universe is gonna do next,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for it because there's a lot of stuff they can do, and there's a lot of stuff they might do and might not.
Yeah,
do.
they're gonna switch characters from being white to black.
Fine. No, no.
Yeah.
They went from white to black. Now they're gonna go from black to white.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. Look at it. Like no one really until they started doing live action stuff to switch up the characters. The comics never changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then that's what because we see in the Flash.
They wanted to fit in continuity. With
Exactly.
everything,
So they want to make it seem legitimate, so they switched it up. You know who I didn't see? Because I know Green Arrow is a part of the Justice League at this point. Even in the animated, in the animated universe, I'm pretty sure he's in continuity with them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I could have sworn I seen him once.
Fuck, I don't remember. I could have swore he was too. That he probably fucking died.
Yeah, he probably died. But either which way, like, that's the only character I didn't see, because especially for right now of how big the CW's Arrowverse has gotten, he should be part of the Justice League animated series, because he's now gotten a lot more people to look into him. Yeah. Even though, Oliver Queen in the TV show is not the same kind of Oliver Queen we see in the comics, but still, like, we see him regardless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now what else is there to say other than the fact that this movie was
awesome?
Exactly. There's so many open possibilities of what's next, right? For the next set of young teenagers, probably not into comics just yet, kind of casually reading. Now it's gonna bring them in. Because like I said in the beginning, we watched the DC animated universe when it was Batman the animated series and everything else like that. People who 7 years ago in 2013, 2014 started watching the new ones, these new characters, and grew up with them.
Yeah.
Right now, what's the next set gonna bring? I really want them to do a Batman Beyond kind of movie, and do something like that, because Batman is the only few movies that have Elseworld stories.
Oh, like
Batman Ninja. We have Batman Gotham Guy Gaslight. Those are the two main ones. We have very little of anything else.
Yeah,
we have
we have Superman.
Well, you know what? On that point, I was gonna say that's probably what they're gonna start doing. They'll probably just continue doing spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way you can do it. Elseworld stories.
As of right now, yeah.
Yeah, because like there's so many goddamn Elseworld stories that you could do right now.
Because then the Red Sun is coming. You said you
Red Sun I already saw Red Sun.
You already saw Red
which
Sun.
was awesome, by the way.
And then what other Elseworld stories are there? There's because what hasn't been done in an animated movie? Let's look at it that way. Batman and Superman
fair
have
enough.
so many
very, very fair
Elseworld stories in the beginning. Like I said, they had Justice League Frontier, where they did the original comic book adaptation of how the Justice League formed.
Yeah.
You have Crisis on Two Earths, where they went to fight the Justice League had to fight the crime syndicate.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right.
That's
and
right.
then you have the Justice League Heroes and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters,
which was fucking awesome also.
Which I agree, that was a good movie. Then you have the Batman the Animated Series movies.
Justice League versus the Five.
Justice League versus the Five. Not to mention you have Batman and Harley Quinn. Right? There's a whole bunch of stories they can do.
Batman and Killing Joke.
Exactly. So Batman has the most open-ended possibilities for continuity, because everyone loves Batman. It's a great crowd
Everyone
pleaser.
loves Batman, but they also hate that he has so many goddamn standalone movies.
Yeah, because like I said, there's only a handful of actual movies, and then there's Batman movies in between, with a few Superman kind of thrown in, and like maybe one Wonder Woman, but there's no too many Justice League movies. They're all linked to Batman.
Yeah.
And they have Batman, Son of Batman. We have Batman versus Robin. We have Batman Bad Blood. We have
Batman Hush.
Batman Hush. All of them are in continuity, right, with each other. So those four, and then you obviously have the 2 Suicide Squad movies, and then you have the 4 Justice League movies, and that's pretty much what it is. Like it's Batman Central.
Yeah.
And that's what Warner Brothers and DC kind of play towards, because Batman's such a popular character, and how bad most Batman live action movies are.
He's the best superhero.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say the best, but
that's a discussion for a different podcast.
That's one of the best.
One of the best.
He's a good superhero. All right, he's a good one.
He's the only human.
No, you know what? I don't believe he's human. There's
no.
fucking
Like
way.
I said, we should save this discussion for a different podcast.
Oh boy, I could actually agree with that. We're probably gonna have to save this for another discussion.
We have to, because I will disagree and say that Batman really is immortal.
Batman may be immortal, but that's a fucking superpower.
That's not a superpower.
His superpower is that he's rich.
Yeah.
What's your superpower? I'm rich.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna come next.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of
do.
stuff like we're gonna see.
There's so many things you can do with this, like, and I probably agree with the fact that they're probably just gonna do Elseworld stories for now.
Yeah,
so they
I
finally
think so.
come up with what they're gonna restart. I don't know if they're gonna restart everything.
They are gonna restart everything, and I think they're gonna do the New 52. Not the New 50. They're gonna do the Rebirth route.
Maybe.
I think they're gonna do the Rebirth route, and
I don't think they skip the rebirth route and just go straight to what they have now in 2020.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The Doomsday Clock. Like those are the two possibilities they can go with this.
Honestly, it makes sense to do Doomsday Clock because Apokolips War, he's gonna go right into the Flashpoint. He could take place right after Flashpoint, right when he's about to do, and then you find out what really happened.
Exactly.
And that's perfectly.
And we don't need to have another Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that means you could have basically the Doomsday Clock type of scenario, and basically that can be the restart of everything.
It could be because, like I said, and then that's just. If you never watched the Doomsday Clock, it's basically, or not watched. If you haven't read it, it's Dr. Manhattan, the most powerful person in the Watchmen universe, is now being able to jump multi-dimensions. Yeah. And he's the reason why, and this is where Wally West comes back and tells Barry, it wasn't your fault. There was somebody else at work manipulating the Speed Force. And it happened to be the most powerful person in another universe, which... Yeah. And Watchmen wasn't originally a DC property until very recently. I wouldn't say very recently, but like when they acquired everything, but still, like it was its own continuity, and then it became part of DC. Yeah. So I mean, that's probably the way they're going to go.
That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool, and I'm excited for it because I haven't read the Doomsday Clock, but I know enough. Watched enough YouTube videos to kind of get the idea of what's going on next.
Yeah. The next Elseworld story, I think, is probably going to be Justice League versus Power Rangers.
Dude, fuck yes! I want that to happen. I read that comic book. It was great. It was a great read. I don't care. Boom Studios, Boom Comics is fucking great with their Power Ranger run.
Damn, you're not supposed to sit on this thing for that long.
No, it's meant for mechanics. Either which way. Obviously, we have to make more room and we don't have to sit on our normal beer pong table per usual. Yeah. But still, it's bottom line. At the end of the day, this was at a scale of 1 to 10. What do you rate this movie?
Oh, for sure a 9.
A 9?
For sure a 9.
Not a 10?
There's a lot of nitpicks with this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't give it...
And you know me, freaking Batman's my favorite character, and they gave him nothing.
They gave him hella
They gave him nothing. I think, like, you know, him and Superman's roles were switched, and, like, the way the Snyder view was supposed to go, the video and the movies that Snyder was trying to make. But
speaking of Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut, that's the discussion that we're going to have for sure.
He believed in it.
I believed in it.
He believed in it. I thought it was full of shit.
I believed in it.
I'm not, to be quite honest, I'm so biased against DC. I enjoy it, but I never preferred DC over Marvel. And I'm going to be 100% biased on that. Like, I don't give a fuck. But it's just, I grew up with...
But you got to remember, it's not... You got to give...
I give credit where credit
You got to give the projects the chance to evolve and do what they got to do.
Oh,
I did. DC didn't let...
I did.
This is another discussion for another time, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
That's right.
Oh, we'll have an argument about this later.
Apokolips War.
Gets a 9 out of 10.
I get, 9 out of 10.
You giving it a 9 out of 10?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Giving it a 2 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. I would say about an 8. Like, there's a lot of nitpicks that we all...
There's some plot holes. Like certain characters that all of a sudden showed up that weren't in the other movies that we saw, or like things that didn't get more background story for it. Like I feel like they rushed it a little bit because they knew this was gonna end. So we're just gonna throw all the characters that manually made little like cameos and different things.
So I mean, to me it's like, and I missed a couple of films. I think the only film I missed was the Suicide Squad film, but I don't think it was that important to the overall story.
No, kind of, yeah, because
just like
it makes sense to what happened with Flashpoint. Like, and why Thawne's still alive and all that other shit.
That I've seen, and I've seen how he kind of made himself be that way. But still, like, that's the only movie I don't think I've seen.
Like, say, Reign of Superman and all that other stuff.
Reign of Superman, I haven't seen Reign of the Superman either, but I did see The Death of Superman.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Reign of Superman was...
I think
it's alright.
To be quite honest, I might just rent it tonight because everything's cheaper on the PlayStation.
So.
That's the only reason why I rented Apokolips War. That, and you guys told me it was a great movie. And we started watching it at work, but I'm like, I want to sit there watching and smoke.
What do you mean? We didn't watching nothing at work.
What do you mean?
For training videos.
Yes, training videos.
How to properly be a badass.
How to properly be a
John Constantine style.
So yeah, I mean, an 8 out of 10 sounds, for me, an 8 out of 10 is probably the way I'm gonna go about it. It's not like I didn't enjoy the movie. It's not the.
I think it was a great way to end it. In a sense.
How are you gonna end something like this? Because you can't just completely start over. Everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah. Why are we getting a reboot? So it is a good way to kind of wrap everything up.
Yeah, it's like, I also think it's kind of lazy though, because you're just gonna flashpoint everything. I mean, when it made sense to why they flashpointed it in the beginning in 2013, because what they have to work with? Nothing really. None of the movies were making enough.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna restart the whole fucking franchise.
Yes, but at the same time, let's face it. At the end of the day, DC does one thing right. Constant reboots. So that's the only thing. Look at all their crises. Crisis on Infinite Earths restarted everything. Last Crisis restarted everything. Flashpoint restarted everything. Rebirth restarted everything. So DC is notorious for just constantly rebooting their stuff every 6 years.
Yeah.
So in like Doomsday Clock is their new recent reboot, right? So, but what I will say, their Crisis storylines are some of the best. Like the most recent one is Heroes Crisis. We're basically dealing with superheroes with PTSD, which is actually a great read if you haven't read it already. I've read parts of it. I haven't read it full force, but it's a good concept.
Okay.
So there's things to look forward to in that, but I mean, I'm just really excited to see what happens next because DC animation is the best animation style for comic book continuity, really, because you have all these, like I said, Marvel does a shitty job with their animated stuff.
Yeah.
And it's super hard to like.
That's why you never get any.
That's why you don't watch.
That's why we stopped getting it because we got 2 of them. We got 2 Netflix movies, Iron Man and Hulk, and we got Captain America and Hulk. Those did poorly. The only one that was good was with Hawkeye and Black Widow chasing Iron Man when he's fighting the Mandarin. Mm-hmm. But other than that,
the only ones that I've ever really liked were Ultimate Avengers, and fucking
Young Avengers.
And Young Avengers was actually pretty solid.
Young Avengers was savage.
And then fucking Hulk versus Wolverine, like.
Yes, those two. Exactly. There's only a handful of Marvel movies that you can barely count on your hands, and there's not even a full 5.
Yeah, exactly, and the rest.
And then when you talk about DC animation,
there's a fucking
list. We could sit here and argue for hours about which one is the best.
Ranking them would even take freaking forever.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna flat out say the best DC animated movie ever, and it's only because not only was it released on home video, it was also released in theaters. Is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. That is the best.
Yeah. Mask of the Phantasm was a special place in my heart.
That is the best DC animated film of all time, and I will.
That Under the Red Hood.
Oh, Red Hood is really good.
I'll give you that.
That's my close second. Under the Red Hood.
Those two are the top. Like regardless, but discussion for another day.
But then you have The Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Oh, see, that's a discussion for
another day. Yeah,
I would love to talk about The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2.
That was good, but I think that we said everything.
There's a Part 3 because there's a comic book for Part 3.
Part 3 was trash.
Discussion.
They can fix it.
Discussion for next time.
All right. Enough of this.
My
Enough
ass
of this.
hurts.
No, your ass hurts.
He just wants to go home.
Yeah,
No. I just need to stand up.
So that's all we have for you guys today. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, and be sure to listen to us on Spotify and on Google Podcast under Cinema Smoketography. You're going to be looking for all of our continuity everywhere on Instagram and or Twitter under _hookahologyst. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you're going to look for this beautiful face right here at Tommy Rodriguez. And be sure to follow us on Facebook as well under The Hookahologyst. I should have a sign with it all the time. Right? Because I plug myself way too much.
Put him up here.
The Hookahologyst. And until next time, guys, keep smoking.
Peace.
Cut the fucking camera.